How's it going, guys? Odds and Ends RC here. Today we're going to go over my 1989 MRP Bud Light Tunnel Hole. Picked this up off of Facebook Marketplace, and I've been looking for one of these for a long time. I had one of these about 25 or so years ago, and I wish I would have hung on to it. And I decided here recently that I was going to try and find another one. And well, it's actually probably been about a year I've been looking for this thing, and I have come across them, but they have been in rough shape. Some were missing some pieces or some hatches or missing the motor, and other ones were just brittle and cracked. And even found some ones that were almost broken in half. But I came across this one, and it's probably the best one I've seen in a long time. It's in very good shape, not brittle or anything like that. It actually has the motor and the motor cover and the whole works. It's functional. There's a little bit of yellowing to the plastic, but not too bad. It'd probably buff out. Stickers are still in great shape. There's some bubbles under it, like around the hatch and the windshield and stuff like that. But overall, this thing is in really good shape. From what I remember about it, it wasn't the fastest thing in the world. It was kind of more for looks. Uh, Back in those days, you just had your 7.2 volt boat anchors of batteries here, and this thing runs off of two of them, and it's really heavy. It's actually a really light boat, but by the time you put two batteries in it and your receiver pack battery, which you had to have back in the day, it starts getting pretty heavy. And also, I took it out. This has a prehistoric speed controller. The speed controller kind of mounts to the top of the servo, and I don't know if it's a 2-speed configuration or forward and reverse or what, but that's what it had in it, and that's definitely not going back in it. Electronics have came a long ways in the past 32 years, I guess. But yeah, if you guys take a peek at it, I mean, it's in pretty good shape. Top side and bottom side. Nothing really severely broken on it. There's a few little things I have to take care of on the inside, but other than that, I should have it ship shape in no time. This has a Kyosho. It says Kyosho 35 on it. I don't know if that meant 35 turn back in the day or what that meant. But I did fire it up, and it sounded really dry sounding. The flex shaft was really dry. So I took the whole motor apart, and all the grease was all dried up and everything. And it actually came with this stuff here, this cable grease. And I took it apart, and kind of like a Smurf jizz looking stuff. But I took it apart and lubed up the flex shaft and everything and put it back together, and it actually sounds quite a bit better now. Probably what I'm going to do is I'll probably run it on a 3-cell for first trial runs. I'm sure that motor is going to burn up probably. I'll just throw a 3-cell speed controller in it and just kind of see what happens. But ultimately, I would like to run a brushless setup on it. This thing's, I don't remember if it's 22 or 24 inches long. And it's a pretty lightweight boat. I don't know, maybe like a 3000 kV brushless setup on a 3-cell, maybe something like that. I don't know if this outboard unit will hold up to that. Not too familiar with these. I do see there's some China ones out there you can buy. It's the whole outboard motor. I think it's like a TFL, or it's under a bunch of different name brands. They're like $100 on eBay, and I see them all over here and there. But they're a brushless setup. I don't know if I'm better off just buying that whole unit, or if I'm better off just putting the motor on this thing, or what. I'm just gonna run it a few times. I don't want to destroy it because I'll probably never be able to find another one. But let me take the hatch off here, and I'll show you around the inside. Okay, here's the inside of it here. You can see in there. Try zooming you in. But it's got two Velcro strips in there, and that's where the battery's kind of Velcroed in place. And then up here is where your receiver, your 4 AA receiver pack batteries went. And then back here is where your electronics went. I had the other servo with that old speed controller on it, and then the receiver went down in there. And it has the clear cover I'll show you in a minute that goes over the top of it and supposed to seal everything. But there is a little damage here. I'm not sure what happened there. Something with the screw, but it's got the plastic pulled up in the air. I'm going to try to whittle it back down, cut the high spots off, probably put a piece of wood underneath here and epoxy everything and get it to where everything's sitting level again. There's a couple little cracks kind of on the back corners, not too bad. Should be able to seal that up pretty easy. This is the cover that goes over that. I don't think it sealed it off the best, but then your old school receiver antenna ran all the way up the straw and hung out the top. I won't need that anymore. Probably just cut it shorter and let it hang out a little bit. But actually with this thing, I even got at the manual for it, the original manual. That's a different sticker scheme I guess they had. And I also got the motor manual. Doesn't really tell me much, but I did get it. And another thing that was kind of neat was it was kind of like a old brochure. Kind of shows some of the other stuff they got. But I kind of remember this Miss Budweiser boat too. It was pretty neat. It kind of shows some of the old school cars. Some other boats, which the boats looked pretty cool back then. The cars, they really didn't, but the boats, they were kind of looking good from even way back then. Let me get this outboard motor here. Kind of zoom you in on it. But it looks to be the original prop and everything. Let me take the motor cover off and we'll take a peek at that. Alright, here's underneath the cover. Like I said, it's a Kyosho motor. It's got 35 stamped on it. Not sure what the foam does. It's glued onto the motor. I don't know if you were supposed to wet that and that kind of kept the motor cool, or I'm not sure why that's there for. If anybody knows, let me know. Not sure what the pitch and the size of the prop is. Have to see if it says in directions, but it looks pretty brittle. So probably definitely be upgrading that. But yeah, I got this in. I thought I'd show you guys. See if you guys had any ideas for it. But I just thought it was. I thought it was neat because it said Bud Light on it, and you don't see that on boats, you know. In this hobby anymore. You don't see beer advertisements on it, and it was just a really good looking boat. I hope it doesn't sink and everything works out on it. But yeah, Probably make another video on it when I update the electronics on it. I'll probably bathtub test it and make sure it doesn't sink, if it needs to be sealed up anywhere first. But yeah, watch out for another video on it. We'll see what I can do on it. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you later.